I'm sitting on the rooftop of the 44th annual Kips Bay Boys and Girls Club Show House here in New York City. This is an urban oasis by Hollander Designs, and I have to tell you, I feel like I'm somewhere else. It's only by looking at the buildings around me that I know I'm in Manhattan. Kips Bay Boys and Girls Club is a not-for-profit charity. It's been in existence since the early 1900s, and they've raised over $20 million to help girls and boys in New York City. And the show house is their big event, and it's been transformed by 21 of America and Canada's top designers.
Welcome to what I call the lady lair. What I wanted was a room which really uplifted you and made you feel glamorous and like the center of the universe. So we upholstered the walls in a simple fabric by Pindler & Pindler, and then we had a graffiti artist come in here and paint directly onto the walls.
Oh, that's such a good idea.
And I even appreciate the drips, like you have one right behind you right there on the wall.
That looks like art.
And exactly.
That's not on purpose?
No, it was not on purpose.
This is a show house, so the designers are free to do whatever they want. There's no client, and they're out to dazzle you, but not be crazy, because there are prospective clients coming through this house. Harry Heissmann is a favorite moment in this house. The color unlacquered brass, it's like jewelry in this room. Okay, Caleb, this room is beautiful.
Thank you.
And the moldings are wrapped in fabric?
Correct. It's an 18th century technique called ganache. Jamie and I were recently in London at the V&A Museum and saw this incredible bed that used this technique, and it inspired us to sort of do a contemporary take on that.
I love the walls. They look like a chalkboard.
They are chalkboard, yes.
They are chalkboard,
absolutely.
and you've drawn on them?
Drawn on the walls with chalkboard
It's
paint.
fantastic.
And it's actually a great medium. It's transient, it's fun, it's interactive with people.
You called it the Napoleon Lounge?
The reason why I call it Napoleon Lounge is because between battles he would create these temporary rooms and he would surround himself with comfort.
What's so interesting about this show house is that you walk through and you know that all these designers were working on their rooms in isolation. Nobody knew what the other designers were doing. And yet when you walk through, you're going to see the sight lines are fantastic. What is this?
This is all walnut.
Walnut.
And we did a marquetry paneling.
Is that inlaid?
There is not one drawn line here.
Stunning.
Every color is a different piece of wood. There are 8 different types of woods used in this room.
So when you're walking through the show house, you're looking for moments. What I do is I walk into a room and I think, oh, I love this so much. I'm doing this at my house. Take a picture of it, and then I come back to that shot a month or 2 later to see if it sticks. It's kind of like going back to see a dress several times before you buy it. This is lovely. It's so light and airy and restful.
It's called the White Orchard Room, and we kind of harkened back to like Swedish and Art Deco and the idea of the great houses on the North Shore of Chicago and Long Island in the 1930s.
I love what you did on the windows.
Yeah, that's an amazing Schumacher fabric, and light's such an important element
What a
in my
good
room.
idea, though, because, you know, it lets the light through, right? My 2 favorite rooms were Suzanne Kasler's family room, although I'd say it's a living room. I love that room. This is one of my absolute favorite rooms. It's so peaceful.
Well, thank you.
And I love your palette.
The whole palette was linens, velvets,
Yep.
and neutrals.
Yep.
That kind of related to this whole stone palette.
But when you decided to do this in like a ticking,
yes.
I thought, okay, that is just such a good moment. My other absolute favorite, the incredible ladies' room closet by Les Ensembliers. You have to see it. It's a showstopper.
When you came into something that felt more like a traditional closet,
Yes.
and then you come into this pathway at the end, and you come into something that feels more like a jewel box.
Like a Park Avenue princess.
Exactly.
So as I was standing in Les Ensembliers' dressing room, I looked straight across and saw this incredible bathroom by Russell Groves. I loved the black and white color scheme, but it was so textural that it felt zen-like. You need to see this moment. This is by Kati Curtis and her peacock lamp. This ceiling is a visual representation of the surface of Mars by someone who's been there, obviously. Must be. And the light fixtures are great on it. Feels like planets. What I love best about this room is it has an art gallery quality to it. It's artistic, but in a very sophisticated way. Beautiful. The thing I've never seen before that I loved was Victoria Hagan's fireplace in red lacquer. Incredible. I felt like I was looking at modern art. It feels so sun-filled and airy and dreamy. Look at this. Talk about embracing technology. This is LED light sewn right into a pocket in the drapes. It's dazzling. It's really hard to produce great moments in a show house where 21 designers are giving it their best. So if you can stand out, you know you've done something pretty special. Oh, this grass looks like velvet. And these trees, it's like tiny scale, perfect. It reminds me of something. You almost think you're gonna see munchkins come out. If you've ever stayed on a high floor of a hotel and looked down, you've seen the roof gardens of New York City. They're fabulous. This terrace by Daniel Richards is one of my absolute favorite spaces in this house. And you look up and you see all these buildings and they're all part of it. It's restful, but at the same time, it's got a really great high energy to it. A show house for me is about ideas. I want to be impressed by what the designers are doing, but mostly I want takeaways, things that I can think about, writing about, or taking home to try in my own work and in my own house. They've brought in real orchids, and how they're going to keep them going. They're gorgeous. I can't keep one orchid alive. It's been a great day in my favorite city in the world, sorry Toronto, New York City.
Thanks a lot.
No, but you know what? You know what? Hello, Toronto's home.
Yeah.
New York is fabulous.